Well, hello again. We're going to kind of have a joint critique here. This is a critique of the 80 and 81N classes of COMM 101. Both classes, critiques, all one big happy family. We'll mention you by your fantasy name. As I say all of the time, please listen to everything even after you hear your own fantasy name, because something I say to one student may keep you from making a similar mistake. Couple of things. Number one, the only way, and we have said this I don't know how many times, the only way you should send me class-related materials is from your Ivy Tech email address to my Ivy Tech email address. Don't post them anywhere. Don't leave them somewhere and hope I see them. And please follow the directions on what is supposed to be on the subject line of all messages you send me. In addition, there is a speech outline and a preparation outline for each speech. You must label those. You would be amazed at, well, you could say, well, they don't even look alike. How many people haven't really read the book yet to see what a speech outline looks like and what a preparation outline looks like, and they send me something and it just says outline. I don't know what they intended it to be, so as a result, it's costing some people grades. Also, we have a fair number of people who sent an outline but didn't submit the speech. I have no idea. I haven't been contacted by some of those people. I have no idea what happened. I need to know if remember, you can't pass this class without doing all of the speeches. Also, I'm posting your latest grades in an Excel format, and also put a little direction in there about the speaker critique. It's not too clear where you find that and what you need to do. Please pay attention to the write-up that I send you in the email, but also what I attach to that. All right, here we go. First speech is by Mamba. It was about jailbreaking, and I got to tell you, it was overly complicated. It was too technical. It was the horribly wrong camera shot. Now, many of you tried to be creative this time, and you're going to put PowerPoints over your shoulder, and as a result, you're going to shoot up. You were instructed, if you use a PowerPoint, do whatever you want to do in the room, keep this shot. This is the only shot I ever want to see in this course. Now, if it's a visual you can hold up like this and put it down, fine. Hold it up long enough that I can see it if I need to see it. But send me a copy of all of your visuals. Send me a copy of your PowerPoint. I will look at it, and I can make the changes in the slides as you reference it, and that's how we do this. I don't know how many times I have to say, this is the shot and the only shot. All right, so Mamba, horribly wrong camera shot. There were no outlines sent to my email. I can't see or read your visuals. Creative approach, but I can't see or read them. Your speech was too technical to follow. Why should a member of the audience care about this? You didn't establish how I would use it. And I'm a mope about anything dealing with technology. And so I'm classic, the person that doesn't know what you're talking about. Who is your audience? Who did you expect the audience to be for that speech? And also, you turned the camera off after the audience introductions, and you never explained why we should use jailbreak. Next up is rhubarb. You talked about writing a song. You have a great camera shot. Watch the sniffles. This time of year, we get this kind of thing as you're talking, and you got to do that. Be careful of that. It's kind of annoying. Watch your vocalized pauses. You said you gotta say instead of you get to say. No, you get to say. Getta, you get to say, instead of you get to say. Got to hear each word. Make sure you do that. What's your credibility in this? Please establish your credibility. You're talking about a craft. You didn't tell me, are you a songwriter? Have you had published songs? And that stuff. Tell me that. Are you the source of everything you said in your speech? Now, I know it said you didn't have to cite sources, but you gave a lot of specific information. Kind of need to know where that came from. Don't bring your audience back at the end. I only need to see them once at the beginning. And use a 12-point Arial type font on all things you send me. Next up is Doctor. And you talked about how to register to vote. Good topic. You have the wrong camera shot. no outlines, and the speech was very short. It ran 3 minutes and 54 seconds. You had a incredible amount of background noise. It sounded like there was a wrestling match going on above you, and it was extremely distracting. There was too much headroom on your shot. The mic seems too far away. You have no presence in the audio because of that, and you were short on length in terms of what you did. So the topic and the content was good, but you got to make sure that it's making sense in what you do. Next up is Maverick, and Maverick, nice try on the visuals, but I can't read them. You need to stand still when you speak. It's hard to understand you. Your visuals don't work for me because I couldn't see them. Again, send them to me. You talked about pizza. And when you turn away to look at what you're showing on the screen behind you, when you do that, then it's very hard for me to be able to hear you. And when you turn back around, then we get that. Don't do that. All right. When you turn away and look at the screen, I can't hear you. I only have one outline, and it's not. You didn't email it to me the proper way. You have. This was a good process speech, by the way. You nailed the elements of a process speech. And don't die at the end of the speech. Don't say, and that's my speech. You know, you're strong. You got good enthusiasm. You have a lot of pluses here. And what you want to do is make sure you stay strong. And you were supposed to send your visuals to me, and you didn't do that. Next up is Marine. You talked about deep meditation. This was you have excellent communication skills. You need more light on your face. You only sent me one outline. It wasn't labeled, so I'm not sure what you intended for it to be. Slow down at the start of your speech. You're speaking about meditation, and you came on and said, I want to... Calm, nice approach at the start. You then went into that mode. Excellent appearance, excellent speaking ability. You're better than the guys that do the infomercials because of the way you sold what you were talking about in deep meditation. So slow down a little bit, stand still. Now, your gestures were great. I don't have any problem with that, but you tend to bounce around a little bit. So, you know, the gestures are natural, and you did very well with those, and they worked with what your topic was. You have a well-honed communication style. This was a very well-done speech. It was just about as good as it gets for this kind of speech, and you have a very nice presence and style. Next up is Garnett, and you talked about CPR. The camera cut off the top of your head. It was slightly soft focus. Establish your credibility from the very beginning so that we know, why are you talking about this topic? Who are you to be saying this? You were giving advice, and you want to make sure that we understand what your credibility is. Don't play with your hair while you're talking. It's very distracting. And don't say, oh, I skipped a point, because the audience doesn't know you skipped a point. Just naturally recover from where you made your mistake and go on. Don't make a big to-do out of it, because I have no idea you made a mistake. You did a very nice approach to this topic, and you have good communication skills. Work on those other little things, and everything will be fine. Next up is Bella, and Bella talked about a name change, or how to change your name. You have a horribly wrong camera shot. See this camera like here, how it looks right now? Well, your camera tilted like this. You were vertical. I mean, horizontal in your speech. This is vertical. You were horizontal. I cannot for the life of me fathom how you could not see that when you looked at what you recorded. It's totally unacceptable. Why would you send that when the camera is tilted? Instead of being straight up, it's horizontal. It killed you. All right. You did not establish your credibility. I have no outlines. You need to slow down. I cannot see your face. And you had a very, very abrupt ending. And needless to say, the shot was so far away that that's one of the reasons we couldn't handle any of that other stuff. Next up is Blue. Blue, you don't know who you are because I don't have your fantasy name. You'll know when I tell you you spoke about smoothies, but without your fantasy name, you're not going to do very well on trying to figure out who you are, because in some of these I may not say what you spoke about. You have a natural speaking ability. Keep the flow going in the slow times. You talked about ice cream and sorbet, and ice cream and sorbet, you said it was ice cream. You one time called it sorbet. Ice cream and sorbet are not the same thing. You know that, but don't mix up those two terms when you're doing it. Also, do not ever make me wait for your process. You put everything in the blender and you say you're going to turn it on high for 45 seconds, and then I sit there and watch you for 45 seconds watch the blender. No! Watch the cooking shows. I've talked about this. Everything is pre-measured. They put this in, they put this in, they put this in. If you say I'm putting in 7 strawberries or 8 strawberries, don't count them. I will take your word for it. That's what's in that bowl you just dumped in there. A cup of milk, I will take your word. That's what's in that thing you just dumped in there. And then when you say, okay, and you turn it on for 45 seconds, show me what it looks like after the 45 seconds. I don't need to watch you watch a blender. Okay? Key. It's key in process. Don't make me watch every painfully boring step. It's like when you say, and then you put it in an oven at 475 degrees for 12 hours. You're going to make me wait 12 hours? No. They always then say, and this is what it looks like when it's done. They got one already done. So that's one of the things in a process speech you want to keep in mind. And I talked about that in these videos, so you've got to pay attention to what I say. Your audio is seriously out of sync with your lips. In fact, I can hear the strawberries going into the container, and I don't remember if it's before or after, but it's way out of whack in terms of what it is. You have a nice conversational and presentation style. Capitalize on that. Lay out your ingredients in advance. Don't deal with them on camera. Watch a cooking show. Don't make us wait for the step to be done. Show me the result, which you have already pre-prepared. This was a good speech, except for those little kind of nagging detail things that you can fix. All right? Overall, just to everybody, there are some serious signs of improvement from the first speech. Your next speech is going to be the information speech, and that's 200 points. And please read the directions about what you're supposed to do. Please understand, I must have a copy of all visuals. Do not fix your camera so the visuals can be seen on the camera shot. This shot right now, look at this. This is the only shot I ever want to see. An inch or two above the head and the bust line. All right? Please do not do any other shot. If you have something you can hold up and not interfere with it being in front of your face for 2 minutes, then do that. Otherwise, say, and in my first visual, you will see that this, and this, and now on my next PowerPoint slide, this is what you need to know, etc., etc. Send me that. I will look at it, and I will be able to judge what your audience would see if you were doing it in a proper presentation. I must be able to see your eyes. I must be able to hear you with great presence when you speak, and I must have this camera shot in focus and vertical, not horizontal. I'm not going to lay down and give the speech, okay? All right. Have a good weekend. Don't forget, don't leave points on the table. Take the exams when they're due. Turn in the discussion board items. If it says respond to somebody else, you must respond to somebody else. Read all of the directions, because some of you are leaving points on the table by not being specific in how you respond or responding the way you were told to respond. Okay? Have a great weekend, and keep up the good work, because many of you are getting, and I got to tell you, at this point, everyone in the class should come out of this class with at least a C if you pay attention to what we say and turn in all of the work that you have to do. B's and A's are quite accomplishable in this class. You just got to keep doing good, solid work. All right. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.